triple C. I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C. Don't really got the heat.
Yep, again, he's reacting. Oh, beautiful. You guys see that? It was that one level change. The one level change. And notice how he goes to the body. Notice how he goes to the body. Boom. And then he steps in with the missile as he takes a slight step with that step, which allowed him to get that leverage for what is it that he wanted. He went body, which allowed him, and then he eventually stepped with that leg, boom, to eventually come across with that left hand. And again, look at DC, man, look at him. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Fight Feedback. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. And today's episode of Fight Feedback, I am going to be dissecting the most entertaining fighter in the UFC right now, and his name is Iron Michael Chandler. What is it that's made Michael Chandler successful? Why is it that people really gravitate towards him? But my question is will he be able to have the UFC gold around his waist? There's a lot of things I've done. There's a lot of dissecting I've done on Michael Chandler. And guess what, guys? I am going to fix Michael Chandler today. Guys, this is sponsored by the one and only Fruit, with 15 servings of fruits and veggies in every bottle. Guys, I'm down 15 pounds, and it's thanks to this. Me and my family, we all eat it. My little 1-year-old America loves it. Guys, I recommend it. This drink is so healthy, it's in the damn pharmacy section. So you guys make sure to enter promo code CCC20 and get your 20% off of Fruit. Now, let's get to the big screens. Okay, so now here we have Michael Chandler. Look, he's not that young. I think Michael Chandler's pushing maybe 37 now. This is quite some time. I want to say this was his first fight in the UFC against the one and only, the overrated Dan the Cheap Hooker. I tell you what, if you guys want to take a win from anybody in the top 10, go against that guy. Anyhow, the reach advantage is for the Cheap Hooker, and it doesn't matter. But watch Michael Chandler. Watch how he's going to the body. Watch how he's going to the body. Again, he's just throwing it just to throw. Well, you think he's throwing it just to throw. He kind of starts to intimidate him with those slight level changes. Look, yeah, that. And look at where Hooker's hands are going. Yep, again, he's reacting. Oh, beautiful. You guys see that? It was that one level change. One level change. And notice how he goes to the body. Notice how he goes to the body. Boom. And then he steps in with the missile as he takes a slight step with that step, which allowed him to get that leverage for what is it that he wanted. He went body, which allowed him, and then he eventually stepped with that leg, boom, to eventually come across with that left hand. Some of Michael Chandler's greatest gifts is his blitz. When he blitzes, he's tough, but boom, he comes right at the end of that punch, to be able to take out the one-legged Cheap Hooker, Dan Hooker. And again, look at DC, man, look at him. He's in the strut. I like John Anik with the cop mustache. And here we go again. So this is Chandler versus Oliveira. Again, he's considered pretty, somewhat short. I felt like Charles the Bronx was taller than 5'10". It looks like he's over 6 feet when you see him in person. But again, a little disadvantage. He's short, he's compact. It's just the same reason why Michael Chandler is explosive. Let's hit the play button. Yep, that's one of the areas that I feel Chandler. Look, he's trying to blitz him again, but this time he's really not setting up because this guy ain't moving. The more you're able to move back, the more he's gonna be able to hit you. And he started off super strong. Great attempt. He got the choke in there, but look, he was trying to do that same thing he caught Hooker with. But Charles was able to just stay relaxed, and nothing necessarily really happened. Against Brett Primus, he received a lot of leg kicks. I really don't like his stance, but look, he's still able to reach him with that same combination to be able to get taken down, right? And he'll go for it. He'll go for it, but I wonder how much fatigue it takes. Look at all the strength in there. You got Oliveira taking his back. That's so hard. Charles Oliveira has the proof. He's so good with the back take. Look, he's going again. He's lunging and he's reaching. He had him hurt here. He had Oliveira hurt in that position. Boom. Same combination, but he's reaching. You see how, notice how he lunges? He needs to bring his feet together before he kind of jumps into it. Great technique. He's got the great idea, the great concept of it. But when it's too much of a jump and you're too much in that air, you're going to lose some of that power. But what he tells you is he just has to adjust it. If he's able to adjust it, he'll be able to reach it. Yeah, he had Michael Chandler did a good job. He could have finished him here. But beginning of the second round, this is where Charles the Bronx just said, all right, boom. You want to scrap, you want to fight? I'm gonna go fire with fire. And then Charles the Bronx eventually found that hook right here. Bah! Because he got him to go back. Boom. Hurt him once again with another uppercut right here. Because he went back. Notice how he goes back. Boom, which went in the range of Charles the Bronx. Boom. Yeah, gets him against the cage. Like right now, what you want to do, Chandler, is pull guard. Don't fight somebody. Go to your back. But I think that's just a mistake that a lot of people tend to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're hurt. Like, go for a takedown or just pull guard. But running laterally like you're doing, you showed a lot of body, your face, and for that reason, you know, this man right here became the lightweight champion of the world. Look at DC! Look at DC, man. He's happy for his boy. Look at John Anik. Look at these guys act like they've never seen a damn knockout before. Look at these guys. These guys have seen over 100 fights, but man, these guys also deserve an Academy Award. Yep, and here we have it. This was like, I want to say this was the 2021, or was it 2021 or 2020 fight of the year? You know, Justin Gaethje is a lot taller, and this is where he kind of runs into that. He's a little older. Let's hit the play button. Yep, Gaethje right away. Beginning of the thing, because he knows, look at how wide. And Chandler actually did a good job of actually kicking Gaethje's leg. Boom. That's what I'm saying. If Michael Chandler can really disguise his explosiveness, well, he does it. Like getting fakes and feints in a beautiful kick. Beautiful kick. But I know, ooh, another one. What Gaethje does to people is what Michael Chandler did to him. Kick. That's beautiful. Boom. Another one. Yup. Gaethje right now is hurt, dude. You know Gaethje's going for broke. He's going uppercuts. He does his signature uppercut. Bah, caught him there. But notice, like, what made Chandler too successful in the beginning rounds too with Gaethje, or in the first one at least, is he said, you know what, I'm not going to back away from you. I'm going to bring the fight, as he already kicked him a couple times. Bah! Michael Chandler does have power. Michael Chandler does have power, but my big is, yep, still first round, dude. Jesus, man. You think that's the whole highlight of the fight? Not even halfway through. Unnecessary jumping, which is what I'm saying. Look at all that torque and all that whine. If you're gonna do that, man, run uppercuts down the middle. Like, not everything has to be an overhand. You gotta hit him with punches where he can't see. And again, you know, now it's round 2. Now the fight starts to change. Remember that I was telling you that infamous uppercut from Justin Gaethje? Watch, wait for it. But I will say one thing. By the time the second round came, this man blew his wad. Michael Chandler blew his wad because he got into the hype. He saw the fight, the way it was going, but then he eventually, boom, against another wrestler, Justin Gaethje, he was able to, you know, start to kind of drain the battery. And Gaethje did an amazing job of finding that chin. Finding that chin to eventually drop him. I mean, look at his face, dude. Look at his face. Yup. He's got the right idea. If you're gonna lose, you might as well go. You might as well go out on your sword, man. Take chances. Too far, too wide. Back leg was way here where it should be more in here. It was out here. Too far. No setup. No setup against a guy who's a Division I All-American himself in Justin Gaethje. Yup. And again, that's where the fight started paying dividends, if I remember, in this fight. Because Michael Chandler's hands started to get compensated. You know? Again, the entertainer. Like, it's 1-1. Look at how much time there is. And he wants to, I mean, you can play that game, but, I mean, at this point, I mean, you got to think of something other than, I mean, I guess it's part of the mind games. It wouldn't be all right, but he ended up losing the fight. That's the only reason why I say it's not good. And now he's in fight zone against somebody that throws like a mad truck. You know, and he's just defending. There's really nothing that he's doing. I mean, you're in fight zone. You have to throw already, Michael. Again. Ooh, this time he catches him. But watch. He lifted him up. And yeah, you can't do that. Like, you're going to lift the dude up. Nice shot this time. He got in a little deeper. Now, he could have just cut him up, but the simple fact that he came up, Justin Gaethje was able to do a college roll through and find that damn leg. Yep, more of that. But you gotta, Michael Chandler has to fake. He has to feint and then throw these hard punches. Yep. Gaethje just throws. You know, what makes Gaethje dangerous is the fact that he just throws. He is a hard-hitting machine, man. Yep, minute 25. And these guys are fighting like, boom. Yep, in the pocket. Michael Chandler needs to go first. Look, hands are down. Like, no, there's no need for that. There's no need for that. Like, again, this is where I go back and say the entertainer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if the time is up, but he's over here pointing. I don't know, like, what he's doing. Like, do you want to win or do you just want to perform? Hell of a fight, though. I will give him that, man. I do like watching Michael Chandler fight. You know, but I do have to nitpick him. Because if I was his coach, and I know that this man was the king back in Bellator. But if he continues to put on performances like that, people will love him, but will he win a world title? And that's the biggest thing against a guy like Islam, against the cream of the crop. You know, if Michael Chandler can make those adjustments, things will change. Yep, there's a lot of yeah. So he's probably about 36 or 37. But you know, these guys are similar in everything, pretty much same thing, everything but the age. This is why, Michael, you got to use more of your wisdom. You're older now, dude. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're not fast or anything like that. Know how to use your different tricks. Bring guerrilla war to people. Set your things up. Let's hit the play button. A lot of animosity, man. A lot of these guys talking about this hot sauce and all kinds of shit. But again, first round, Michael Chandler again, starting off strong. Had him hurt. If there's one thing that I would, if I was his trainer, I would add uppercuts. I would add uppercuts to his game. That is impressive, man. Unless you wrestle him, you could beat him out. But if you just keep it on your feet, I mean, this is where it's going to go. But again, bad habits. He'll walk laterally. He'll stay against the cage. Pull guard, man. Pull guard if you are hurt. You know, but you can't. You're blocking yourself because of this. And look, it's only round one. I mean, talk about fatigue. This is where this is his biggest. This is Michael Chandler's worst enemy. Is he doesn't necessarily understand his threshold. You gotta make him more of a competitor, because there's 10 seconds in and he was beating the crap out of Poirier, and then now he just lost a round because this dude's on him like a rat on a Cheeto. Clean punches by Poirier. Again, look, extending the hands rather than putting his hands up. Like, it's a natural reaction to do things like that. Again, he's doing that blood step again, starting off early. Spend the majority of your time on top control. Wrist riding, college riding. Oh, I like that. You know what he did? Wasn't Poirier complaining about this? That he put his fingers in his mouth or something like that? But you know what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's why I like Poirier. I'm sorry. That's why I like Chandler. Because whatever, dude. It's a fight. It's a fight. If the ref don't see it, man, get away with it. You know, it's the fight game, dude. Yep, he's doing that blitz step again. He fell in love with it, but he's not setting it up. Look at his shot. His shot is too far out. His shot is too far out. Can we, ooh, and still lifted him. But again, unnecessary power. I guess in that position he had to. But notice how many lifting. Look at how far out. Look at how far out his shoulder was on that shot. That right there, and then still got the lift. So poor technique to eventually use more of his strength, and then he lost it because he's too sweaty. That round right there, that takedown right there, if Michael Chandler could go back to his college style riding, he would have won this fight with Poirier. But shoulders out. Look at how extended he is. And then look, he did the right thing. Grabbed here. Look at his shin where he's at. He's got an angle on him now, so he's able to defend him. But this is where it's impressive. Look at the strength. He still brought him up. Unnecessary, then he whaps him. So it's the energy of lifting him and it's the energy of bringing him down. But because of the sweat, because of being sweaty, he ended up on his back, and there's 4 minutes, close to 4 minutes left. And now he's got the body triangle. Yeah, that body triangle was a biatch. Yeah, and again, I wouldn't be in that position because right now you're lifting Chandler. It's better to go to your back. It's already too late. It's already too late. Like, you know what I mean? You played that game a little too much. You stayed comfortable. You stayed in the all-force position a little too much. Once you're in danger position, you got to go to the position where you could be all right. And again, it seems like these guys kind of made up after all that. After he put his fingers in his mouth. I don't know where he put his fingers, but whatever. I'm dirty too, man. I'll pull some shit like that too. So there we have it. That was the end. That was Michael Chandler's last fight. And now I want to grade it to what I call the 3 T's. The techniques, the tactics, and the threshold. Where is it that Michael Chandler can make these improvements? Let's take it to the whiteboard. So the 3 T's, the techniques, the tactics, and the threshold. Again, guys, he's about to coach tough with Conor McGregor. What is it, the adjustments that he can make according to his fight with the notorious Conor McTapper? I would like to start off right here. I'm going to start off with Michael Chandler's biggest weakness, the threshold. He showed it with the Dustin Gaethje fight where he comes out really strong, really blazing, and he'll go out there and he'll throw out the kitchen sink in the first round. You start to see him deplete within the second, and by the third comes about, like Dustin Poirier ended up submitting him, or like Dustin Gaethje pretty much got the W. But this area right here is his biggest weakness. Does Michael Chandler really understand the threshold? How is it that you're gonna finish the race in a five-minute fight? The cool thing about it though is he is fighting Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor's biggest issue is right here too. Right here too, so they got something in common. But because this is his biggest deficiency right here, and he doesn't, and I'm not saying because he's been a world champion, he's just not there, but this is his biggest thing, and you guys are gonna hate me for this, but for that reason, right here, I saw in the Gaethje fight, I saw it in the Oliveira fight, I saw where he comes out good, and by the time the later rounds go, he becomes a different Michael Chandler. So I'm gonna have to give this man right here a 5. And again, I give these numbers according to the growth that they still need to get. Like if Michael Chandler could get 2 points on what he's doing on his threshold, he could become that much better. If Michael Chandler, with the ability that he has, if he's able to really make adjustments in the threshold, he'd be really, really hard to beat because he's a wrestler and he's got power. And a guy like that is very, very dangerous. But until he understands the threshold right here, the threshold, the gas tank, for those of you who don't know what the hell a threshold is, he won't be the cream of the crop. It'll be hard for him to become a world champion once again, especially in the UFC. The next one that I would like to do is right here, his technique. His technique out of everything else is good because he's got hands, and he's got power in his hands, and I do believe that's one of Michael Chandler's greatest asset, if not his greatest asset. But something that always bothers me with Michael Chandler is he's been leg kicked by Brett Primus. He's been leg kicked by Justin Gaethje. He's been leg kicked by Charles Oliveira. He leaves that lead leg. He's too wide on his stance. He doesn't use his wrestling. He'll use his wrestling, but he doesn't know how to really use top control, which is fascinating to me. The simple fact that he's an All-American. I think he's a two-time or an All-American out of Missouri, you know, trained with Ben Askren. So he understands that top control is key, but he hasn't given that top control time. So for that reason, for the technique, God, you know what? I'm going to be a little more generous on this one because he does have hands. So just for the simple fact, he does have hands. So I'll give him a 7 because of the power, and he has become a world champion through that. And I'm being generous, man. I kind of want to switch it to a 6.5, really, for the simple fact that he doesn't use his wrestling. He doesn't. He'll use you to take you down. He'll lift you and all that. But you know what, guys? I got to give him a 6.5. I can't. And again, guys, Michael Chandler, if you watch this, this isn't me shitting on you, bro. Even though it looks like, even though I say a bunch of shit that comes out of my mouth, this is me more saying that, hey, you got 3.5. You got an opportunity to get that much better. You know, I would like to see more top control. Once you take, I would love to see you stop lifting people when you take somebody down. I would, you know, I would love for you to see you start smoking things before you get into your blitz steps. And I do believe, Michael Chandler, that that's the stuff that you're missing in order for you to get back into title contingency. And the last and final one, the tactics. He fights everybody the same. He really does. And this is just another weakness that he has. He doesn't have the ability to fight somebody different. It's that blitz step, stepping in, throwing that left hook, or going in and throwing that overhand right. Tactically, this is another area where he could really improve. You know, he has it in there, but what really stops him from all of this is this right here. This is what stops Michael Chandler from getting better through here and through here. You know, so for the tactics, man, because he fights everybody the same, he's also had success in the past. I mean, he's really not a chameleon, man. Like, if you see the fight with Michael Chandler, how he's fought everybody, he's gonna fight everybody exactly the same. So I think this is, you know, I'll switch this back to a 7. And I'm gonna have to give him for the tactics because he fights everybody the same. I'm gonna have to give him a 6.5. Because he does have power and he does have wrestling, but he is lacking those small little areas that he needs help on. Yeah, this is a 18 and a half out of 30. In other words, and again, I'm not hating, but it's an improvement that he can make. This is an improvement, guys. This is a score according to how much he could rise. He could rise, even though it's looking down. He could rise to eventually the 30, or bring it up that much closer. Because right now it's literally a D-, dude. It's a D- because of the little things that he's missing. That I do believe that he can adjust to a lot of these things, and particularly here, Michael. Stop entertaining, dude. Stop entertaining. Maybe be entertaining after you get done beating somebody to a pulp. But don't do it, and don't fatigue your threshold. You know, I think it's going to be really important for you to watch, because, and again, guys, I'm not grading. I'm grading this dude from what he's recently have done. You know, back in Bellator when he was champion, I mean, this score would go eventually, would be a little higher, but this is just the honest truth, dude. You know, if he could adjust the threshold, if he could get his tactics and fight Conor different, if he can stop lifting with the technique and start top riding college folk style wrestling, then guys, Michael Chandler would be up there. He would be the worst matchup for a guy like Islam Makhachev. So that is your breakdown of Iron Michael Chandler. Guys, this episode was brought to you by the one and only Fruit, with 15 servings of fruits and veggies in every bottle. Guys, this drink is so healthy, it's in the damn pharmacy section. So guys, go get your fruve on. I'm your host, Cejudo, aka Triple C, and we will deliver. And we are out! So thank you guys again for watching. It means a lot to me. So you guys remember, there's more breakdowns, there's more technique, there's more tactics, and there's definitely more cringe. So make sure to subscribe and click on that button. I'm out!